Vanessa Chumley, and I'm your nutrition coach. Today we're going to journey through the grocery looking for our top 7 budget power foods, and we're going to get nutritional tips and tricks along the way. Now, most of us are trying to eat healthy, and many of us are also on a budget. So can these two become friends? It seems impossible, but I'm going to help you do it. And the coolest part is our fireman friend Tim is going to join us. But before he does that, I want to give my 3 grocery rules. First, shop with the grocery map. Now, what is that? A grocery map is just something that you print out from home, and it just is an outline of your grocery, and you put what food you need in the aisles they belong. That way, when you come, you don't backtrack yourself, and you're super efficient and effective, because the less you come to the grocery, the less times you have to spend money, and we're trying to save. Secondly, is shop the perimeter. Now, why would we do that? Well, that's where the healthiest foods exist. Another way of saying that is the longer the shelf life of the food you eat, the shorter your shelf life is gonna be. Don't believe me? Set out on the counter a Twinkie and a carrot and see which one lasts longer or forever. Third, don't come hungry. Now, I used to like shopping hungry because everything looked more appealing, but inevitably I'd end up opening a box of granola bars and munching along the way. When we shop hungry, we tend to buy more convenience items, which tend to be higher priced as well. So we want to stay away from that. If you shop hungry, the monster in your stomach's going to rule instead of your brain. And then you'll get caught in what I call the mouse trap of junk food at the front of the store. So we want to stay away from that. So don't forget those 3 rules each time you go to the grocery. All right, here comes our fireman friend, Tim. He's going to join us. Hey, Tim, what's up?
Nothing. How are you?
Great. Well, Tim knows all about shopping for his family and his fire family.
Yeah, I do. When I first got on the fire department, you know, that's where I kind of learned to shop. Yeah. And I'm in a station with 10 guys.
Because you're cooking for them.
Yeah, we're cooking for them. And, you know, the thing is, we've got to go out and buy our food, and that comes out of our pockets. You know, we pay for our food, and we need to stretch that dollar.
Wow, okay.
And that's 10 of us, so we have a lot of mouths to feed. And
so does the guy that eat the most have to pay the most?
No, we all pay the same, but we got to make that stretch because we also have to pay for our cable, and we also pay for our newspaper.
Wow, okay.
So it's kind of a big deal that we stretch that dollar, and it was very difficult after being on the fire department, then getting married, and my wife we started a family, and shopping for the 2 of us, and then we had our baby. We had a little girl, and we had to shop for the 3 of us. Okay. And so we had to kind of relearn how to shop. You know, I did, from shopping from 10 people and budgeting to 3 people.
Yes.
And now in October, here in the future, we've got another one on the way. So it'll be fun. Yes, thanks. Yeah, we're very excited. So we're gonna have to learn to kind of reconfigure how we do things again.
Right.
So it's exciting.
Awesome. Yeah. And all firemen are trying to eat healthy, right? Kind of?
We're trying. You know, it's getting better. We're working on it, definitely. So.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get started with our grocery tour.
Right.
When we think produce, I want all of us to think protection. All of these fresh fruits and veggies are packed with antioxidants. And what are antioxidants? Because I feel like we throw that term around and not many of us really know what those are. Antioxidants are like the firefighters of the body. So picture Tim going around, putting out hot spots, keeping you healthy and keeping you free of disease. Now, there's a myth that all this produce is way too much for our budgets, but that's not true. The secret is you have to buy in season, because in season fruits and veggies are going to be the ripest, and they're also going to cost the lowest because they're in abundance. So they're going to taste the best too. So what are the fruits that are in season? Well,
if we're in the wintertime, we're going to want to probably get citrus. Those are going to be your fruits that are good during that time. Spring, as we come into spring, our strawberries are going to be coming into season. And as we get into summer, we're looking more into watermelon, and our berries and our peaches should be ripe. And then as we come back into fall, we swing around, and you know it's apple picking time, so we're going to go with apples. And I'm not sure.
Squash. I taught him all this.
Yes.
Well, that's exactly where we want to go with the fruits that are in season. Now, there's tons of superfruits, is what I call them, superfoods. And some of those, all of these do different things in the body. So let's just hit those now. Cabbage right here that Tim's holding, those are your cancer fighters. So just remember, see cabbage, cancer, that's going to fight cancer in your body. Peppers are actually inflammation reducers. They have an antioxidant called capsaicin, and you can even use that on the outside of your body. There's creams with capsaicin in them that apply heat and bring a cooling effect, so they help arthritis and things like that. Strawberries are your heart protector. They have an antioxidant called ellagic acid. I remember that. You don't need to remember ellagic.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to remember that. But you can remember strawberries are good for your heart because they look like a heart. Blueberries are going to be our brain protector. And we can remember that because they kind of look like a brain. A little bit, stretching it, but they look like a brain.
I can see it.
Yeah, powerful antioxidants in those. And then finally, our ginger right here that I've got good old Tim's holding for us. Yeah. Ginger is an underground rhizome. It kind of looks like a root. And what you do is you break off a little bit of ginger and you smell it. It's very strong and very fragrant. Ginger is a stomach calmer. It's been shown, studies have shown ginger to be better than Dramamine for reducing nausea. So when I was pregnant, your wife might have done this, I don't know, but she can do it now because you've got a baby on the way. I would take, you just peel the skin off, and you can do it with even a spoon, and then you can drop a little bit of ginger in your hot cocoa or make hot tea with it. It's such a powerful stomach calmer. I would even sleep with it by my nose because I was that nauseated when I was pregnant. I felt sick the whole time. So ginger is a superfood if there ever was one.
All right.
Now in this section we have budget power food number 1, and that is onions and garlic. And the reason why we want to keep onions and garlic on our shopping list is because they're inexpensive, but they're also so versatile. You can use them in any recipe, and they're going to be super good for your body. Garlic is a infection fighter, and there's tons of ways that you can use that we're going to talk about.
Now, with the onion there you have, is there a difference between, we've got the white onions and the red onions, which are my favorite, the red.
Okay.
Nutritionally?
Nope. Onions are typically, the darker the veggie or fruit, the better it is for you, the more antioxidant power it has. So you'd want to choose dark leafy greens over iceberg if you have the opportunity. But onions are going to be about the same all the way around.
All right.
Great way to flavor our food, onions and garlic. Now, if it's the middle of winter and there's 3 feet of snow around and Tim's not around to shovel your driveway, and you're kind of sketchy about going and getting the produce, well, you can just head over to the frozen section. So let's go there now. Hey, no more fruit.
Wow, magic of TV.
That's right. So we're here in the frozen section, and we've got our next budget power food, and that is frozen veggies and fruit. A few reasons why we like these so much is because, 1, stay power. How many times have we brought home fresh produce? We do what with it? Hide it in the very bottom bin of the refrigerator, and especially if they're not clear, I get annoyed with that because 3 months later, you go to pull it out, and what's it look like?
Oh, it's disgusting. You start smelling it normally is when I realize it's in there, and it's all crudted up with something.
Yes.
That's not where I want my penicillin.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, we want to keep from throwing food away, because the more that we throw away or down the garbage disposal, it's literally like throwing your money away is how we should think of it.
Basically, waste is kind of a wallet killer.
Yeah. Just remember that. Waste is a wallet killer. Second thing, next to fresh, frozen is best. Everybody remember that point, because frozen foods retain almost all their nutrients and all their fiber. So we're gonna find 100 ways to use it in the kitchen. And the great thing is about these is you guys don't have to thaw them. You can throw them into whatever. You can make stir fries out of them. You could even, for your baby girls, make a really easy, delicious side dish for change. And the great thing also is it's so convenient. These are already cut up, they're already washed. You don't have to worry about anything.
I throw them in the microwave with a little bit of water.
Okay.
A few minutes and it's done.
Great.
Like a steamed vegetable, so.
Yeah, yum, delish. All right, well, let's get on to our next, the perimeter, as we're following around the perimeter.
All right,
let's keep going.
Well, I think it's no surprise that meat's the most expensive food that most people buy. And at the firehouse, you know, with 10 guys, we are going to eat a lot of meat. And even at home, you know, we're going to freeze and eat a lot of meat. And so what we do, a trick at the firehouse, we kind of do is when it's on sale, we buy it in large bulk and we freeze it. We've got some big freezers and chests, and we freeze our meat in there.
The freezer's the most underused tool in the kitchen, definitely. And we're also going to show you ways to, since meat is the most expensive because it's pure protein, we're going to show you ways to stretch it out throughout our recipes and the things that we do. Now, the other thing we're concerned about when we look at meat is saturated fat. Saturated fat, here's a picture of what it does. Picture cooking bacon, and you know the oil, and as it cools down, it does what? Right up against the pan. It kind of, that's what it does to your arteries. It nuzzles up right against there and causes heart disease and all these. Saturated fat is an artery enemy. Just remember that. So when we look for meat, here's the one thing that we can remember to stay away from saturated fat. The least amount of marbling, the better. So you want to look for less white and more red. Red meat's not bad for us. Lots of us enjoy eating red meat.
Yeah.
A key word I look for is sirloin, because that means typically it's going to be lean or low fat. Like if you see right down there, our pork, the pork loin has just a little, and you can even cut that white part off.
Just trim it.
Yeah, so that's something that, tip you can use when you're shopping for meat. Pretty easy.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, well, want to continue with our perimeter and head to the milk?
Dairy's next, but let's go.
Something I like to do is use plain yogurt in my chicken salad and or tuna salad in place of mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Okay, great idea.
A little healthier.
Then you're getting in some protein. Another thing that I love to use is Greek yogurt. This is my new favorite little guy to use in the kitchen. A lot of us might not have even heard it yet. This is my favorite brand, is Faye. And you can get zero fat Greek yogurt, and it's almost, it can take the place of sour cream. It like leads a double life. So it can place sour cream or mayonnaise, so you can use it on a baked potato, you can use it, I just eat it for breakfast in the morning. And the coolest thing about this is that it's 20 grams of protein in 1 cup.
That's amazing.
So something I'm always looking to increase in the kitchen is protein and fiber. So this one, this would be great to use for the fire guys, because they need their protein as they're going out and doing runs.
Yeah, we'll need that all day.
Yeah, so let's get this and keep it around. We'll just put these here, and next person that's shopping can already get started on
they'll want those.
Okay, now we've got the second budget power food, and that is eggs. Eggs are like a superfood because they're high in protein, and you know what? Eggs are what I call the perfect protein, because when they compare, there's all different kinds of proteins, and eggs have the highest quality of protein. So when they compare other foods, they always compare it to the protein of an egg. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Because for a while there was a myth that eggs are bad for us, and they're not. They're good for us. And if you want to just use the egg whites, you could do that too instead of buying egg beaters, and they're inexpensive. So that's why they're a budget power food.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And next, we want to hit milk. And the reason why we want to hit milk is because when I think about milk, I think about carbohydrate. You know, that scary word that a lot of people are afraid of. Have you heard some of the guys try and go on the low carb diet?
Yeah, you've heard of low carb diets and eat all the bacon you want and lose weight.
Right, like back in the 90s, especially when that was, first 80s it was fat free and 90s is carb free. Neither one of them got us anywhere. Here's the thing, when it comes to something like milk, which has carbohydrate in it, if you look under the label, underneath carbohydrate it says 12 grams. So, and underneath sugars it says 12 grams. So I know some people that don't drink milk because they're afraid it has too much sugar in it. Isn't that kind of funny? It's not like they took sugar and sprinkled it in there. It's talking about the natural sugar or the lactose. But the only way, this is kind of a little secret that I use, the only way to really tell what you're putting in your body is to look at the ingredients list, which is always under the label. So the ingredients list says non-fat milk, vitamin A, vitamin D. So we know we're good. When you look at the ingredients list though, look and use the 3 ingredient rule is what I call it. If there's a sugar word in the first 3 ingredients, you want to stay away from it. And sugar words would be, of course, sugar, brown sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, even though Whole Foods doesn't carry any products with high fructose corn syrup in them at all. So we know that we're free here. So use that 3 ingredient rule and you're gonna know that everything you're eating is lower sugar. So that's the carb story. So don't be afraid of them. Just make sure and get healthy carbs like dairy, like fruits are healthy carb. There's healthy carb in vegetable. You don't need to use a lot of flour or anything like that. Okay, well you've got some cool cottage cheese tips for us,
I do. When I eat either a sweet potato or a baked potato, I use cottage cheese instead of sour cream, and a couple of us at the Firehouse actually do that, and we started to do it at home. Another thing I like to do is use the cottage cheese with a homemade salsa. I mix them together and I put them on my potato, and it's excellent. A little flavor explosion in the mouth. So
that sounds delicious.
It is very healthy. So
yeah, there's lots of ways that you can hide. A lot of our moms, I'm sure, know how to hide foods for their kids. Your wife probably does the same thing.
Yeah, we're starting to do these things for our baby, and so definitely.
Yeah, so cottage cheese is one of those, and we'll be showing you ways to even blend it up and hide it into things. So people that are afraid of the protein pillows, as I call them, won't even know that they're in there. All right, well, let's get on to our next style.
All right.
All right, so in the canned food aisle, we hit up a couple more of our budget power foods. Number 3 on our list is canned tomatoes. Canned diced tomatoes, you guys, are almost just as good as fresh because they're super condensed in the antioxidant lycopene, which is the cancer-fighting tomato antioxidant that we all need more of. And you can throw canned diced tomatoes into just about anything. I'm sure at the firehouse you guys use them.
Yeah, obviously we use them for chili. When
Seems like that's all they eat. Yeah, you know, when you think about firemen, it's always chili.
Yeah, they're thinking of the chili. We do. We make all kinds of different kinds of chili, different meat, and different ways to make it. All of them are excellent. We also use it in stews, tomato. We also will use it in sauce.
Sauces, make it like Italian sauce.
Yeah, people make like a fresh sauce with tomatoes, which is really good. So
great.
Yeah, just a great way to use them.
We'll have to do that.
Definitely.
All right, it's a good way to stretch out meat since we mentioned it's the most expensive item. So you can use things like canned tomatoes to help, for pennies, stretch out meat. All right, so Tim, I'm eager to ask him this question and I'm eager to see what you guys would think too. If I asked you how much the average American needs of fiber a day, what would you say?
You know, I really don't know.
How many grams? I'll just put you in the at least you know it's grams.
60 grams.
Wow, that would be really interesting because it's 30. 30 grams of fiber a day.
Well, I think I work with a few guys that maybe do eat 60 grams a day. But
that's awesome. So how much do you think the average American gets in a day?
I'm going to say 13.
5 to 9. Can you believe it? That kind of shows how much processed food we're eating that's depleted of fiber. And I call fiber the body's broom. Even though that's funny to think about, we really need it. It's going to help in so many ways. So budget power food number 4 is whole wheat pasta because it is so inexpensive. And when we get pasta, we want to not try and wean your family on the whole wheat stuff. It is not like the way I feel like it used to taste like cardboard, and now it is delicious. So do you guys use this at home?
I use it not so much at the firehouse. It's going to take a little more.
We'll slide it in.
We're going to have to keep sliding in on it. But at home, my wife and I really enjoy the whole wheat, so definitely.
So always keep some of that around because you can literally do so many things with it. You can make salads out of it. You can again throw it into a meat dish and kind of bulk up your feeding for a crowd, which is awesome. So speaking of fiber, another wonderful ingredient is beans, and this is budget power food number 4 or 5. I don't know which one we're on.
I think we went to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, beans, because they are super cheap. They're high in protein and fiber, and those are the 2 things we're always looking to increase that are going to give us energy for our day.
Right.
So these are going to make a big difference. Once again, you can throw these into almost anything. We're going to find more ways. We're going to make dips out of them. We're going to put them in different stews and soups, and there's a lot of ways you can puree beans and use them instead of using like heavy cream in soup. So we'll show those secrets. All right. And that is it for our canned food aisle. So now we're going to move on.
All right, let's go. You know, it seems like cereals are really expensive a lot of the times.
Yes, they can be so expensive, and they're also, many of them are high in sugar. Not something that we want to start off the morning with. So instead, our next budget superfood, we are going to get rolled oats. There's all different kinds of oatmeal we can get, from steel cut oats that take 30 minutes to instant ones, and we'll talk about those as we go along. But rolled oats are high in fiber, and the number one thing they're going to do is help lower cholesterol and keep our cholesterol at a healthy level. Okay. So, yeah.
Well, good.
Do you use these at all?
Yeah, we can use these a lot. You're probably not thinking cookies, huh? You're probably not thinking we're going to go with cookies.
Just open them up and go like this.
All right, so yeah, you know, granola, I use them when you're making granola. And something I like to do or have done is I make a granola and I put it in a pie pan and cook it into the pie pan like a crust, and then I'll puree several fruits into yogurt and use a little unflavored gelatin.
Awesome.
And hardens up, and it makes an awesome pie, and it's pretty healthy. So
that's insane. So do you cook for your wife?
I do some of the cooking.
We
split time. You know, I cook some of the stuff, she cooks some of the stuff. She's a better baker than I am for sure.
Okay.
But I take on maybe more the dinner, meals, and breakfast.
Okay, cool. Well, you're gonna have to share that recipe with us because I'm dying to know it and try it. So, budget superfood number 6. Let's get on to number 7.
All right.
Okay, so in the bulk food section, this is one of the coolest places to shop if we're trying to save money, because when you buy in bulk, you're naturally saving money, which is a really good thing. And I know, Tim, you're a big nut eater, right?
Oh,
you like your almonds and your walnuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Those aren't bad for us, which is important to note because a lot of people think that they are. They're high in fat, but they're high in healthy fat. So as we're approaching, I call this our secret weapon food, and it is textured vegetable protein. Do you know what that is?
No, I have no idea what textured vegetable protein is.
It's TVP, and we're all going to know, especially by the end of this series, exactly what TVP is, and we're all going to be shopping for it. It's right here. TVP is defatted dehydrated soy flour.
Sounds delicious. And what does that taste like exactly?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So this is what it looks like. TVP is what I call a chameleon food because it takes on the flavor of whatever it's in. Now here's the thing, we mentioned that we want to try and increase protein and fiber in almost everything we shop for and eat. This has both of them. So what you can literally do is add this to your ground meat and double it for just cents. I mean, you know what, we can play this trick on the guys in the firehouse and just see if they know. And I mean, you use it in chilies or soups or stews, or even I have people, well, you know what I do with it? I put it on my salad like croutons because then it stays crunchy. So then I'm getting more protein, but it's not.
I could see this in yogurt. You know, you put granola in yogurt. I could see that.
So what's it taste like?
It doesn't have a lot of taste. Maybe very little bit like a plain cereal.
Yeah.
It may just be the texture that's tricking my palate into thinking that's what it tastes like. So
awesome. Awesome. So it's dry, and then when we add it to things, it's going to reconstitute or bulk up. So then we need to keep it in the fridge because it's so high in protein. We need to treat it like a protein food. So we'll show. So this is our secret weapon. We're going to show different ways to use it. So stick with us and keep watching, and let's head on to the next style. So if we're new to making all these health changes, it can seem like a daunting task, can it? It's like overwhelming to make all these changes at once. So the very first one, change one, that we should make is get rid of the soda pop completely because of all, I call it liquid sadness, all the sugar and everything that's in it. And I have right here in my hand the amount of sugar that's in the average pop that you're served at a restaurant. Do you want to guess how many teaspoons, Tim, are in the average pop?
4 or 5.
Try 14 to 18. Hold out your hands. Let me just show you both of them. How much sugar, you guys, this is that you're pouring into your body when we drink soda pop. Can you believe that? No. For some of us, that's all we drink all day long, and you're not getting any water. You just stand there and hold that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand here and hold all this.
And just remember, your body needs at least 64 ounces of water a day to be properly hydrated to operate at your peak performance, which I'm sure you guys are really concerned about too. So the other thing, when it comes to liquid, a way that we can save on our budget is to just scrap the soda pop as well as the juice. I know that, to me, that can sound kind of harsh. I mean, you're a dad. Do you guys give baby girl juice?
Yeah, we give her some juice, definitely, you know.
And I'm sure you pick 100%.
Definitely, yeah. Stick with 100% juice.
Right, because 100% juice is just what it sounds. It's 100% juice, as opposed to if you see juice cocktail, which Tim, you're not doing a good job with the sugar. It's too much, that's why.
It's too much sugar, that's right. If it can't fit in my hand, then it definitely shouldn't fit inside, yeah.
One glass. That's amazing. Okay, anyways, with the juice, if it says 100% juice, that's the best one to go with. If it says juice cocktail, what that means is it's like 10% juice, and the rest is sugar, which Whole Foods doesn't even carry juice cocktail because it's 10% juice and the rest is thickness, all right? So just remember that. But here's the thing I want us to remember even more. When we compare, let's say 6 ounces of juice to the fruit, which one is gonna fill you up more?
Definitely the fruit. I always like to say I don't like to drink my calories, personally.
That's a good way to think about it.
I hate to think of me drinking the calories that I should be taking. I'd rather eat them.
Exactly. So. Don't buy them, don't drink your calories. So this one's gonna fill you up more. The fruit has more fiber. The fruit has more antioxidant. And here's the most important point. Nature never, even though it's natural sugar, nature never gives us natural sugar without giving us fiber to help take that sugar over a long time. So eat the fruit, don't drink the juice, unless sometimes people need it to help increase the calorie content for their kids. Then you wanna buy 100% juice.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Well, let's go find a place to put this sugar and head on.
Sounds good.
Well, hey, I really appreciate today. I think that I really learned a lot of things that I can bring back and incorporate at the firehouse in budgeting and also in just eating healthy. I really think a lot of these things can help us really get healthier, and a lot of it I'm planning on bringing back home. to our house as we expect this new baby in the next couple of months. We're going to really start to focus on our budget, and I think that it'll really help us in doing so. I just wish that everybody could eat this healthy, because a lot of the people that we run on don't eat so healthy, and it causes a lot of the health issues they have.
Yes, very true. I think that's such a good point to remember as we close today is your health is your greatest wealth. And the way we nourish our bodies, or the lack of how we nourish our bodies, causes high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, even weight gain. So let's just do a little experiment. The average cholesterol lowering medication without insurance will cost around $195 a month. That is a lot of money. Yeah. Now let's just say you have insurance. It's going to cost about 20 to 30 bucks a month. So it's this little guy, or all this beautiful food right here you could get for $20 to $30 a month. And the ironic thing is, this is gonna be the stuff that truly goes into your body and fights disease and heals you. So let's work at eating more of this and getting off this. Yeah. And everybody come back to our website, because we're gonna put tips and tricks on there, and we're gonna be making a lot of yummy recipes here coming up that you can enjoy for low money.
Yeah, well, we hope to see everybody again.
Have a great day. So ginger is
and our berries and our peaches should be right.